right, dramatic new video shows this perilous escape of a North Korean soldier defecting to South Korea. Watch this. The defector's driving a Jeep on the North Korean side when he breaks through a barrier and heads for the border while the soldiers scramble to get him on the north side. He eventually runs the car into a ditch and bolts over to the South Korean side while soldiers fire at him, but just barely getting there, getting shot at least 5 times, and they say about 40 shots rang out. Now, one of the North Korean soldiers chasing him briefly crosses the white line, marking the territories between North and South. He realizes he's in the South, and he panicked. That soldier takes a couple of steps into the South, retreated. This infrared camera shot you're about to see shows the defector just over a wall separating the two countries. Two South Korean troops crawl over to him and grab him into safety because, you know, they don't know if they were going to get shot. Now, Harry Katsianis is the Director of Defense Studies at the Center for the National Interest and one of the few who probably understands why a North Korean soldier would risk everything to get to the South and what they were up against. How rare is what we just saw, Harry?
Brian, it's pretty rare. I mean, keep in mind that usually most people who are trying to defect from North Korea, you know, to freedom, essentially, go to China, essentially. Yeah. So for somebody to actually cross the DMZ, I mean, think about it. This is an area that's usually riddled with mines. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers are in this area, tanks, heavy machine guns. This is an area of the world that you don't run across. So it's pretty astounding.
Yeah, here's the problem. I got these numbers from our brain room here. There's been 881 defections this year in 2017. Last year, 1418, so considerably down under this leader. The problem with going to China is if they catch you in China, they send you back to North Korea, correct? Right. If they catch you in South Korea, they leave you in South Korea. Right now, as this North Korean soldier struggles for life because he's full of infection, they found a lot of stuff in him, including some tapeworms that are about 12 inches long, to show how what he's been eating. He's down to 130 pounds. As he struggles for life, there's no fear of him going back to the north, right? The South will take him.
Right. I mean, Brian, I think of it this way. If the North Korean-South Korean border is the modern-day equivalent of the Berlin Wall, essentially. This man was willing to risk his life to get to freedom. And we have to think of it also this way. His family, if he does have a family in North Korea, could also be in tremendous jeopardy. Sometimes as many as 3 generations of somebody who commits an act like this are going to pay a very high price. So we don't know what's going to happen to him, to his family. Also, the reports that of what he's going to go through, he's going to face deficits in terms of nerve damage. They almost had to amputate his arm. So what he was willing to sacrifice, it really shows you what an elite North Korean soldier was willing to do. He was willing to risk his life.
Harry, give me an idea of what's going on the inside of North Korea, because if the people are that unhappy, if they're suffering to that degree, is there a chance North Korea can solve this problem themselves, or is the government so insulated there's no chance for a civilian army to rise up?
The challenge here, Brian, is that the North Korean machine tightly controls the country. The people are starved. They don't even have enough food to eat. This North Korean soldier, there's been reports that he might have even been under malnutrition. And this is one of the top-line units that this soldier was probably involved in, to be that close to the border. So the North Koreans have a very tight control over the country and the populace. So if you're starving, it's very hard to sort of launch a mass revolt. Right. But the outside world is permeating North Korea. This apparent soldier wanted to see South Korean pop videos and pop music, so he was aware of the outside world. It could permeate into society and change that society.
Real quick, we know things have to change, and whoever was the president was going to have to deal with this, and this president's certainly going at it, and he's focused on it. He's not doing strategic patience. So we know that the 13 Chinese companies have now been sanctioned by our country for dealing with North Korea. We know the president talked for 90 minutes with Vladimir Putin, who reportedly is increasing trade in North Korea to supplement what the Chinese aren't. Do you sense there's something that could change? Is there hope on the eve of our Thanksgiving?
I think so. But the president has the right strategy here. It's keep the sanctions up. The North Korean economy is only worth $14 billion. It's the size of Vermont. If we keep the pressure on, we can critically damage that economy. We might not be able to stop their nuclear missile programs, but we could try to contain it as much as possible. The president's doing a good job on that.
Yeah, hopefully we'll use all the leverage to get the neighbors involved, because they do not like our military presence in the area. Harry, and the only way for it to go away is for them to no longer be a threat. Harry Katsianis, thanks so much. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.